What is jQuery? jQuery is another library for JavaScript. Nothing. Okay, here if you look at this is a jQuery script. What is the main difference? Here we are using dollar symbol. In JavaScript, we do use directly document dot get element by ID or get elements by name or get element by tag name and so on. But here the slight difference is there. Here it's a just an additional library, JavaScript library. It basically simplifies our JavaScript. Okay. See, whenever you start using any kind of DOM object element, we simply use a dollar document dot. Okay, and then if it has ID, we use a hash symbol, or if it is a class, then we simply use a dot symbol to identify. I mean, fetch the elements or retrieve the elements in runtime. Okay, so
okay.
jQuery few exercises I just created yesterday. Just show you quickly. These are actually events. Okay, basically we can also invoke the events in JavaScript. So if you just go and see here, just mouse over only. So it's a mouse over, just end up P1. Is a paragraph. Whenever you bring your mouse near to this paragraph, automatically get this pop-up. Okay, this pop-up. How we are just invoking. See, ideally in JavaScript, how do you write? We create a on click and so on. We'll write some events called on click and we'll call a function, JavaScript function. But here, if you look at here, what we are doing, there is a page. Okay, in this page, whenever you go over there, automatically you will get some saying that you are on P1. See, document.ready of function. Okay, this is how we call actually events in jQuery. Hash P1 inside this function. So this is how you define a function basically. Whenever JavaScript page is loaded, the HTML page is loaded, automatically it invokes this function. What is there inside this function? Inside this function, we have a logic called hash P1. So it's a locator. The locator which we are just identifying using a ID. Since we have hash, that means ID dot mouse enter is the event. And then we are calling a function. Inside a function, what we are doing is simply alert. I mean, alert gets opened. And then similarly for mouse sleeve, and this is mouse up, this is for hover, and so on. These many events are there.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Mouse over, mouse sleeve, mouse up, over, focus, blur, and so on. These many events are there. Okay. So just thought of showing you this demo. Then yeah. See, what's the purpose of jQuery? jQuery purpose is to make our JavaScript much easier. So instead of writing multiple lines, we simply abridge our code, and you can do that actually. It's lightweight, and you can write less number of codes, and we can perform more functionality with the same set of lines. Okay. So okay. jQuery also simplifies a lot of complicated application components like Ajax calls and DOM manipulations and all. Okay, so what are the features jQuery has? jQuery library, basically it's a library. It contains HTML DOM manipulation, that whatever you are doing, it is called as a DOM manipulation only. CSS manipulation, of course, we have so many methods out there to manipulate. We can go and check, yeah, let me check this one. I think this one where we have changed the values also. Here you can see, check whether this has a class name or not. Okay, change the text. Okay, retrieve the text and get the value. See, these many functions are there. So look at here.
Yes, sir.
1 minute.
Yeah, okay.
Hello. Yes, I'm in class. Anything urgent? Yeah, you didn't come up right to the class. I just thought of asking you. Fine, give me a call after 9:30. Yeah. Yeah. See, it also manipulates CSS properties. Here you can see HTML value. Okay, text and all you can retrieve. Just right click just run this program. Okay, yeah, run this program and go to console. So you know, right, how to open a console, functional key F12, and then you can see the console here. See, so we are just fetching whether the value is there or not, and what's the value we have. Okay, and so on. So what's the value of the okay header actually grouping from data with field set? How do you fetch it? By simply using the value called, I mean the property called text. By using this, you can fetch header1, header2 hash h1 id. This is id dot text. If you use a text, automatically fetches the okay inner HTML property, I mean HTML value of the header. And this is also same. And this is also same val. If it is an input value, what is the value we are getting actually for f name? F name, it is actually earlier it is John. See, look at here. See here, the by default value is John. That's why it has fetched the John. Similarly, if you want to set the value, you can definitely do that. Okay. How do you set it actually? By simply assigning the value. Okay. By simply assigning the value, we can set it. See, if you can see here, I mean dollar symbol input f name dot val. We are setting the value. We are setting the value. Again, similarly, if you want to okay call event, there is another annotation. You can simply use a dot bind click comma function of alert. Okay. Whenever you go to paragraph, automatically you'll get a okay. Where's the paragraph? Yeah, this is a paragraph. You click the paragraph, automatically you'll get a okay alert. Okay, how that is possible? We are just invoking a event here. Click function, and the entire thing should be passed. How many parameters? First one is event name, and then the string which contains a function. Inside that you have to build a logic. This is a logic which you have built inside this bind function. Okay. And similarly, if you want to fetch the length of the element, and you can find the size of the total number of size of the element and so on. So many methods are there. And so jQuery is used to manipulate CSS element. Similarly, it also useful to do event methods. As I showed, you can use either bind or you can directly use functions. Okay, here you can see here we have used bind. Instead of that, you can also use directly functions. Yeah, document.ready of function. Whenever the document is ready, automatically it start listening this event actually. So input.focus of and so on. Either you can use ready or you can also use bind. What's the difference between ready and bind? Bind is actually works at the object level. Ready is actually works at the page level. Whenever the page is loaded, automatically the script loaded in a browser. Okay. Effects and animation you can take care of. Let's see how do you handle Ajax calls actually. That I just want to show you. So traversing, we can also traversing through jQuery. Traversing means, as I told you, we can traverse through HTML pages. So first one is actually HTML is the root element. Inside that we have so many elements are there. So for suppose we have division. Inside division we have unordered list. Inside unordered list we have list of items. How do you actually traverse? We can traverse using actually parent and then child, and we can also call as actually descendant. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So for suppose a list is there. Inside list we have two elements are there. Okay. So there is a spanner and there is another actually spanner. So spanner both are actually siblings, and a child of okay unordered list is actually descendant, a descendant to division. That means the grandchildren is called as a descendant. Okay. So we know already this terminologies. First, let's see how do you use a jQuery for traversing. Yeah. So you can add elements to the set of matched elements, and if you want to return all the children elements of the selected element, you can use children. And if you want to use, if you want to get the direct children of the selected element, you can use the contents. And you can also apply filters, and you can return descendant elements of the selected element by using find and all. Okay. And if you want to check the last element of the selected element, we use a list. Sorry, last, and so on. Okay. Now we'll see few examples: parent, parent null, and so on. Yeah. I'm just going to write a very simple code, not going to write a very complex one. Simple code. Let's go here.
Yeah.
Just add a page. Okay. Right. As you know, HTML and then header and then okay, we have style. Okay, I'm applying styling here actually. Style. Again, inside style, I'm just using dot and just I will define this class later. First display. Okay, display. Yeah, block. Okay, border. I can make it 2 pixel. Okay. You can take any color actually, light gray or what is you can take. So what's the issue? Padding, PID, padding. Then this is the end of the style. Okay, write a small script, very sample script here.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, then so we'll add this jQuery. Okay, so how do you add jQuery? Yeah, we'll add here itself. I have already added here. I'm just going to take the same link here. Yes. Okay. Controls. You know, right? How to add from a local file also. Okay. See, this is how we have to add from local file. So this is for local file, and this we can directly from the internet. There are two ways to add a jQuery to your HTML code. One, we can directly use a inline. Inline means online HTTP link. Okay, if you add this link, automatically your HTML start recognizing your jQuery commands. Otherwise, it does not. One thing. Second thing, you can download jQuery. As I told you, you can directly go to get jQuery, and from there you can download the jQuery.js file and download and put this jQuery in your local system, and then add that location in your HTML code. There are multiple ways. Either you can use directly from internet, or you can directly use from the local system. Okay, this is where I have used a local system. Okay, so close it. Yeah, not required. Okay, jQuery added. Control S. Okay, you can remove this script. So I think where is our script? This one, yeah. So script, we have to add this one step here. Done. Okay. So jQuery script has been added. After that, Nothing. Script is ended, and then we are going to create a one more script here. Inside this, what we are doing, we are not doing anything. Traversing script, I'm just creating document dot id of function. So as I told you, whenever your page is loaded, automatically this function gets loaded into your browser. Okay. So inside this, what I'm doing, I'm just manipulating the color of spanner. Okay, I'm not doing any rocket science over here. Very simple code. I'm just using again one more locator dollar spanner. I'm just using spanner dot parent dot css of color color I want to give red. Red. Okay. So one more property, border. Okay. View border. Okay, colon. You can see, yeah, 2 pixel. Solid. Okay, right. Then it is done. Yeah. Semicolon. After this is a semicolon, another semicolon. Right. Script is over. Now header. Yeah. So after header, actually we have body that we know already. Body. So this is where we are going to write our actual logic. So inside body, what we are doing? Nothing actually. First we create a class with a division. Okay, div. Okay, class equals to the same class name you have to mention. Just copy this, Control C, Control V. Control C. Okay, ancestors.
Yeah, okay.
And then inside div again we have one more div, and this time style we have the style equals to. So what is the style? We're just using width. Yeah. Yes. Okay. After that, we are just going to have a another list. So inside div, I'm just going to close it. Yeah, it is closed already. Div, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to create another list UL. Inside that UL, and then it is a grandparent. Okay. And then I'm just going to create a one more item called list item. Inside list item, we can simply say li direct parent. Okay. And then I'm just going to create a one more object called spanner. Span. Okay, span. That's all. Okay. So inside this spanner is inside a list item. Li. Okay. Division is not coming. Why? This division is over. Order. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, I'm just removing it off. This one. Yeah, order list. This division is closed and this division also closed. Okay, fine. Both the divisions are closed. I'm just going to create one more division here. Div, style, and then width 500 pixel. Yeah, I'm just mentioning the width and then closing div. Yeah, div grandparent. Inside div, I'm just going to create a first page paragraph. And after that we have spanner is there, span. That's all. Okay, so page is closed. Okay, division also closed. Yeah, and then I'm just closing body. Right, body is already closed. Okay, home, delete it. Control S, Control A, format the script, format, right, done. So few errors are there, it seems. What are those errors? Margin 15 pixel. So expected CSS. Okay. Is there any error? MA or GN?
So color showing also the padding.
Right. Padding should come here. Padding. Semicolon is missing, that's why I think. Okay. So you know already this is a CSS styling. This is inline styling, not inline styling actually. Online styling. So we can either we can put directly inside a styling at the class level. Here you see this is also styling. This is inline styling. This is online styling. And external styling means we add from the file CSS file. So this is online styling where we have created a class. Here we have the dot symbol. That means it's a class. Okay, class. We're just using display border color padding and margin. Padding is 5 pixel and margin is 15 pixel and so on. It's ended, and then we are using jQuery. After that, here if you look at here, what we are doing, we have created a sample jQuery script. Ready whenever the browser page is loaded in the browser, automatically see span.parent.css. For this spanner, okay, for this spanner object, this is a tag name. Okay, also called as a selector. So for this spanner, parent CSS value. Okay, parent's CSS value should be changed to red color. Border should be this one. Got it? Where is the spanner? This is a spanner. Here we are using spanner. So who is the parent? The parent is page only. This is a direct parent. Okay, just right. See, this is a direct parent. Okay. So where is this parent? This direct parent. This page is inside again a division. This is a grandparent. Here, this is a division, grandparent. Inside a grandparent, we have page. Inside page, we have a spanner. Okay, here you can see span. So why this color has been changed? Because whenever the page gets loaded, if you look at here, the span parent CSS file, CSS, that means the span's parent. Who is the span's parent? Who is the span's parent? Span's parent is page only.
Direct parent.
Direct parent. I mean, for our understanding, I have given a text here. So span's parent is page. So paragraph. Paragraph automatically the CSS properties is changing to red color and border is the solid red. So that's the reason it has changed. Similarly for LI also. Where is the spanner here? There is another spanner here. Okay, immediate
Yes, sir.
parent is list, LI, list item. That's the reason list item, okay, values has been changed. Here you need to understand is parent. Parent is a method to traverse back to the parent and apply the required properties. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So parent can be used, and then also called as another method called parents. Parents method also there. So what is the difference between parent and parents? Here we have used parent, right? There's another method called parents. Okay, parents. What is the use of this parents method? So the name itself is telling it fetches the list of a bunch of elements. Parents means. Okay. It returns all the
Okay, sir.
ancestor elements. We are using get elements, right? Similarly, they are using parents. Parents is a plural. Okay, basically returns all ancestor elements of the selected element. Okay. Or suppose if you use parents, how many parents are there for a spanner? Tell me.
So one, sir.
No, division. Division under page. Just
Okay, grandparent under it.
click. Oh, see, automatically the styling has been applied to entire thing. Got it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
For spanner, it has parent 1 and grandparent is division. So that is the reason it has this CSS styling to entire all the parents of the spanner. All the parents of the spanner. For suppose we are writing a division. Okay, another division. Okay, inside actually this is okay, grandparent. Okay, and this is okay, a direct parent. Okay, inside this okay, sorry, inside this we have okay, input. Okay, type equal to okay, okay, type equals to text. Type equal to text. That's a text, and then ID equals to okay, ID text. I'm just using this one, text. Okay, value equals to okay, demo. Okay, and then closed. Okay, here you can mention say home. Yeah, username, you can give username, Control S. Okay, so here now the ID is ID text. Just copy it actually. Just Control C and Control V. Okay, function. Instead of span this time, actually what I do use input Control S. Okay, color is actually instead of this blue and solid blue, Control S. Okay, so parents I'm removing actually, parents I'm removing, parent also I'm just removing. Control S. Okay, just right click. Okay, default browser. See, this is in blue color. Okay, this is in blue color. If you just apply parents, automatically the both the children's parents properties gets applied to okay blue color. See, Control S. Oh, sorry, refresh this page. So this is a grandparent. This is a direct parent. Direct parent is in blue color now. Just if you just refresh it, grandparent also applied to blue color. See, grandparent also gets applied to blue color.
Yeah,
And
yes,
then
sir.
who is another parent actually? If you make a okay, keep observation here. There's a one more frame that is also in blue color. See, why?
Yes, sir.
The division's
The
parent.
parent.
Who is the division parent? Body.
Yeah,
Body.
yes, sir.
Body. That is the reason. If you use a parents, automatically it's a border and okay, color also has been changed to blue color. This is the page. Inside this page. So let me explain. Yeah. See, body. Whose child is it actually? This is a child of HTML. Okay, inside HTML we have body. Inside body we have a division. Inside division we have another division. Inside another division we have an input field. So these are two immediate parents, and a grand ancestor is body, and super ancestor is actually, who is the super ancestor? HTML. That is the reason this entire page border is blue color, and at a body level it is actually, this is a body, blue color. Again, this is a per division, this is another division, this is actually an input. So this is how we use actually parents. Parents, it fetches all the elements. Okay. Okay. Now there is another method, parents until. Okay. So parents until, there is a method. This method basically returns all ancestor elements. Ancestor elements between two given arguments. Between two given arguments, it returns actually all the ancestor elements. Okay. See, for suppose there is a spanner. Okay, I'm just going to use a parents until. So parents until method returns all ancestor. Who's the ancestor? Can tell me who is the ancestor? Who's the ancestor? See, look at here. We have a division. We have another division. We have a order list. We have a lister. Okay, and we have a spanner. Spanner's immediate parent is list. Agreed. Okay. Spanner's grandparent is order list. Okay. This spanner's great grandparent is actually division. Okay, division, right?
Yeah.
And also called as an ancestor. There's another division called
class.
Yeah, class. This is actually ancestor. That means division is an ancestor to span, and another division is a great grandparent to span, great grandparent. And order list is a great grandparent to span, and a direct parent is span. That's how we have to understand.
Yes.
Okay. Then yes, so many methods are there, but few methods only we are discussing. Actually, we have few more methods like children and find and all. Children. So how do you use this children method? How to use this children method? See, the children basically returns all direct children of the selected element. We have just added one more spanner one. Okay, we have spanner here, right? So just Control C. Okay, Control V. Okay, spanner 1, spanner 2, spanner. Okay. So if you use div dot children, okay, I'm just going to use okay, dollar, again dollar, okay, document dot ready of, okay, function, ready of function. Inside that, okay, inside this what we are doing, yeah, dollar symbol, dollar. Okay, I am using division. Okay, division dot children. See, this is children. Okay, so children method, we have to use children method. Okay, so semicolon, and yeah, that's it. Another semicolon, Control S. Okay, so this is how we use children method. See, dollar document dot ready of function dot division of children. So what it does actually, what it does, it simply return all the children elements. Okay, just right click. We are not applying any bordering also. Oh, children dot, okay, children dot, I'm just using the CSS, applying some styling. CSS of color, okay, color, you can see green, okay, comma, border, okay, border of Yeah, 2 pixel and solid gray. Right. Okay, I'm just commenting this also. So this method basically fetches, returns all the children elements and applying this styling. Okay. So just right click. We have division. We have so many divisions are there. Just right click. Okay. Refresh. So what's the issue? Okay. Span grandchild. And then span done. Okay. So I'm just creating one more thing. Control C. Control V. P1. This is P1. P2. This is span 2. This is span 1. Control S. So first of all, it is there or not solid. Right. You control S. Right click. Refresh. Yes. Okay. You can see here for all the children items, automatically this color got reflected, green color, and the border is red, solid red.
Right, sir.
Yeah. So this is how we can return. Basically, if users children, automatically it returns all the child elements. So at what level you are applying? We are applying it at div level. Whatever the division, okay, HTML tag is there, and the division should have a children. Otherwise, this method can't be applied. Children, it fetches or returns all the elements, all children elements, and we are applying at a division level. For suppose you want to apply this at a page level. See, who is the children at page level? Page level, we have spanner. Spanner 1, spanner 2 is there, right? These are the children. So only for spanners, this okay, CSS styling will be applied. Okay. So CSS red color, green, green color, and a solid red is a border. At what level? At a page level and children.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just right click. Just refresh it. Set page level. We have span 1, span 2. It's not changing. So children of page, these are the pages. This is span 1 and span 2. Grandchild. Yeah. Here you can see P1 child and P2 child. Both are changed to okay, green color. Okay. So we can also apply at a list level, LI. li. Okay, control S. So span 1, span 2 is there, right? Yeah, these are the values span 1 and span 2. So just yes, see, it has been changed. Span 1 and span 2. Got it. Under list, these are
Yes, sir.
two children items, span 1 and span 2. That's the reason these values has been changed. So this is how we use children, and also we have children. Children, I mean, find method also there to find a descendant of the particular element. So basically, we use the find elements to return descendant elements. Returns a descendant elements of a selected element. Okay, we use a find element. Okay, so I will find a method. Tell me how to use this find method. So per suppose we have a spanner. Okay, I just want to find how many spanners are there in a division. Okay. Okay, so I'm just using again document dot ready
And
of function. Inside this, what we are doing, returning some value actually. So inside this, okay, I'm using dollar symbol. So div division is enough. Then dot find of span. Okay, what it does? Tell me now. What it does?
so you're applying the CSS files also.
Yes. Okay. So find all the elements of spanners under division. We have so many spanners under division. Under division,
Yes, sir.
here we
For
have
the-
spanner. We also have spanner. So many spanners are there. I'm just applying the code again. Okay, again use color coding again inside this thing. Find a span dot CSS. Okay, you can apply this CSS thing. Right, Control S. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, why does applied?
Only-
actually? Yes,
Only decrease the span.
correct. Only for
The
span
division,
it is
yes.
going to apply. Okay, find all the spanner items and then apply it. That's all. Okay. So basically, find method returns descendant elements of the selected element. Who is the descendant element here? Descendant element of the division is spanner. How many spanners are there? Total 4 spanners are there. For all the spanners, this color coding gets applied. Okay. So these are various methods are there. Along with that, we have so many methods like okay, siblings, next all, next until, previous all, previous until. Okay, what is siblings method? Siblings method actually returns all sibling elements of the selected element. Okay, you know siblings, right? So who are siblings here? Tell me. Who are the siblings in this page? Span 1 and span 2 are siblings.
Span 2. Yes, sir.
Okay, correct. Okay, P1 children is right. This is actually parent to span 1, and this P1 child is actually parent to the division. So it is again it is a parent. I mean it is a children to division. Great grandparent. He is a great grandparent. He is a grandparent. We have a list. He is a direct parent. Inside this two siblings are there. This is also called as a children. He has 2 children. Okay, list item has 2 children. So span 1 and span 2. 2 spans are there. Both are actually siblings. Okay. So if you just write a function called dollar, okay, document dot ready of function of h2 dot siblings. So what it does? It simply returns the siblings. Okay, return
Yes,
all
sir.
sibling elements of the selected element. Okay. So similarly, we have other method called next. When do you use next? Next method basically returns the next sibling elements of the selected element. we are using header to dot next. That means who is the next immediate children sibling to header. See, for suppose spanner 1 is there. Who is the next immediately? Who is the next sibling?
Spanner 2.
Yeah, super. Spanner 2. Okay, next all. Okay, I'm not demonstrating. Take a lot of time. Okay, so next all.
Yes, sir.
What it actually next all method does? Next all method returns all next siblings elements to the selected element. See, spanner 2 is right. I'm just going to add one more children. Span 1, span 2. Okay, I'm just adding. Control C. Okay. Okay. This is spanner 3. Span 4. Yes. Okay. It refreshes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Spanner. So how many siblings are there? Span 1, span. Okay. So, oh, okay, fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Four elements are there, but I have added one more tag. It has become a children to span. So I would not add it, but it's okay, fine. See how many siblings are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4 siblings are there. So next, next all of the particular thing, what happens actually, it simply returns all the next sibling elements of the selected element. Okay. H2 dot next all automatically it simply returns all the siblings of the H2. Okay. So similarly, we have a previous and previous all, previous until methods work just like the methods which are using a reverse functionality of the next. We are using next, right? The reverse functionality of the next is previous. Okay, previous. The method is previous. So spanner previous, I just want to use find element of CSS. Okay. H2 dot next all. Dot next off. Okay, next off. Otherwise, you can use next all. For all elements of the division, next element, it simply applies this CSS. Okay, just commenting this also, Control S. So red color and all, it's actually solid blue, green. Okay, just refresh this page. Yeah, gone. There's no color now. Okay. Okay. So next all of CSS. So division has next all sibling elements. So division has already applied gray color. That's why it's not showing. 1 minute. I'll write a very simple code. Okay. Next all of CSS. We'll take H2 better. H2 is already there, right? Division is the parent. Inside division, we have a util and all. Okay. I'll take page, spinner, and then H2. I will add here H2. Yeah, otherwise I can add here also. I'll take here page. Okay, so inside page, this is sample page, done. Okay, so span, and this is sample spanner. Okay, after that take H2. This is H2. This is H3. H3. Okay, and then page. There is another page. This is end of page. Okay, done. Division closed. Everything is done. Control S. So now go to our script. Okay, I mean jQuery script. H2. Instead of division, this time what we are going to do H2. H2 dot next all dot CSS. Okay. Control S. Now tell me what will happen. Oh, what happened? H2 dot next all of CSS. Really not sure. There is some syntax error. Let me try once here. Document. Okay. Dot ready find function right. Okay. Okay. Done. I'm just using the dollar symbol again. H2. Okay, done. Dot H2. We have H2. H2 dot next all. Next all dot. Okay, I'm just copying remaining things from here to here. Control S, Control C, Control V, Control S. Yeah, it's almost the same. Have we done any mistake here by any chance? Control S, just right click, default browser. I'm expecting header is there, right? That should be reflected. So where is header? These two values has to be changed. Why it's not changing? Any guess? Document.radio function h2.next all of CSS color green solid. You read, but that doesn't make any difference. Why? Are you referring same page, correct page? Yes, of course. Document.radio function of h2. Document.ready function h2. Next all only I have used .css. Okay, I will check this code later. But ideally, if you use next all, what happens? What's the next all next to h2? Next to h2, and there's a page. Both the things will be changed to red color. This is h2, right?
Yes,
this is h3 basically. I have given a wrong description. This is h3. Okay, this is h3. So that means the immediate siblings. Next to all means after H2, H3 and a P is there. And few more pages are there. P and these four things needs to be changed to green color. Next to H2 means. Got it? But it's not changing. I will check and let you know. H2,
Yes.
H1, page 1, page 2. All these things should be changed. I'll check and let you know. Yeah. Along with that, we have previous all, previous until. These are the actually reverse to next. These are and reverse to next basically. Okay. So that's how we can go. And also you can use another methods like first, last, equals to, and so on. These are actually filters. Okay, we simply use a document dot ready of div dot first. So what it does actually, first means what it does. The very first element it will take. Okay. So if
Yeah,
you
okay,
apply
sir.
div dot first of CSS, what it does at the division level, at div level, the very first element will be changed to the different CSS formatting. Okay.
Yeah,
And the
okay, sir.
last means last element in the division. Last element in the division. First element,
okay.
last element in the division gets applied. So first basically returns first elements of the specified element, and last is the last element of the specified element. If it is a div, whether it is a another form, or it might be any kind of list item, or it might be unordered list, ordered list, and so on. The first element will be changed. First element will be returned. Okay, first, last, and all. That's how we use actually. So next, what else is there in jQuery? That's it. Okay. Now we'll see jQuery Ajax. Do you have time? Shall I take
Yeah, yes,
another
sir.
5-10 minutes? Yeah. Okay. So what is Ajax? How do you use Ajax controls, and how do you handle Ajax controls in jQuery? Okay, Ajax. So Ajax is actually a kind of exchanging data with server, updating the part of the web page. Okay, it's simply, if you use Ajax controls, it simply updates the parts of the web page. It does not load the entire page again and again. Okay, got it? It does not load the entire page, hence it changes a lot of processing time. Okay, I'll write a very simple code, Okay, jQuery. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay, very simple code. I'm just going to write. Doesn't take
Yeah,
much
okay, sir.
HTML. Okay, done. Inside header. Okay, done. Inside script. I'm just adding the script part to jQuery script part. Just go. Okay, just add this part. Let's see. Come here. Then added. Okay, and then another script. Let's write in script. Okay, inside script. Just dollar symbol. Before that, let me build the body. Okay, then we can get a clear cut body. Okay, inside body we have div. Okay, id equals to div1. Okay, div1, then closed. h2. Okay, Ajax jQuery Ajax changing the text. Okay, changing text, and then division closed, and then we have button, utility button. That's complete. Okay, then button is closed, and the body is over. Go back to script. This is where we are writing script, right? So what you are going to write inside the script? Nothing. So first we start with the document dot ready of function, jQuery function. So function of again we use a dollar symbol, set that. Okay, button this time, button. Okay, button. dot click of function, other function. Okay, side this what you are doing, another div dollar symbol, dollar div this time, div. Okay, I think I can use div1 because we have already given a id div1 dot load. Okay, of or some text you want to load. Okay, so I just want to give okay, c dot anything actually, some ajax text dot txt. Okay, done. Let's come here. So this is done. This is also done. Okay. Yes. I think why I use this symbol not required. Right. Control S. Okay. So first you have to create this text. Control C. Control D. Okay. D drive. C drive. Okay. Where's our files? HTML. Yeah. jQuery. I don't know where is the jQuery. Fine, we'll create one file. Just create one. Okay. So text file this is Ajax, right? Ajax text control C, F2 control B dot txt. Then right. Oh, F2 txt not required. Then okay. Right. This I'm just writing. So okay. Breakdown. Control S. Save this file. Okay, come here, Control S, just right click, refresh this page, and I think it is inside a HTML. HTML examples. Right, Control S. What happened? Nothing. We have to. It is very easy to troubleshoot. Also, just click errors. Okay. F12. Control F12. Okay, here you can see it's not able to access this HTML request. HTML, CSS, HTML, all is the right. That is not there. So where is this file then? Your test script is correct, but path is wrong. So bootstrap jQuery files, bootstrap, Control X, bootstrap, jQuery files. Okay, jQuery. Yes, Control B. Just putting here. I'm just removing all these things. Control S, where is this file? Yeah, here it is. Okay. IAJAXTXT.txt file. .txt file. Yeah, fine. Right. It's okay. Just right click, refresh. So document.radio function button.click div.load off. So ideally, if you click this automatically, okay, it should come. Ajax text.txt. div1 header. Okay. Button is there. On click. Any suggestions? Load.
Sir, I don't know, sir. That's
Fine, no issues. One dot. Copy part. Supposed to load this text. But script wise, there is no error. But let me check one more time. File access to HTML requested this file origin null has been blocked by CORS policy. Cross origin requests are only supported for a protocol schemes, HTML, data, Chrome. Oh, I think my security. Okay, firewall is blocking, it seems. Since it's a cross site request, right? Maybe there is a reason it's blocking. Where is this file? Control X, sorry, Control C. Let's go here and C drive. I'll put it here. And then I'm just removing all those things and check. Control S. Refresh this page. Just right click. Just click OK. Let me check once again. Yeah. Access to XML HTTP request from origin null has been blocked by CORS policy. Maybe my security policy is blocking to access external data sheet. Cross origin requests are only supported for protocol schemes, HTTP and so on. Error fail to resource, load resources. Okay, I'll check this issue. Okay, I'll let you know. Okay, but
yeah. Okay.
On Monday. Okay, maybe my security policy is not allowing to access external Okay, text. Okay, through this okay normal HTML request. See, has been blocked by CORS policy. That I need to check. I'll let you know. And apart from
Yes,
that,
sir.
what is pending? Ajax and Ajax controls. And we have few Ajax methods also that we need to discuss, like load. Currently, we are using load, right? Load. It loads a simple, basically used to load the data from the server. But here we are not using any server. We are just loading from the XML files. Okay. You can also pass the data as well as you can also use some text file, and you can also use other parameters. Like if you are connected to the server, you can pass the server URL over there. Okay. And apart from that, what are the other methods we have? We have so many methods are there under Ajax. Ajax get post methods are there. By using these methods to request, you can request data from the server with the HTTP get and post. Okay, what is the difference between get and post?
So, so post means adding any elements.
Yeah, posting means submitting the data to the server. Posting
Yes,
means
sir.
we have form, inside a form we have username and password, click submit button. What is submit
Yeah, yes,
button?
sir.
Submit button submits the data, that means posting. Getting means requesting data from the server, that is get to post.
Yes. So get means a request on the server, sir. Get means.
Yes, get means requesting the data from server.
Okay, sir. So one more doubt, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, am I only for backend, sir?
You are the only in
Backend language, sir. So HTML, CSS like a JavaScript, jQuery and Ajax, sir. Only basics is no is enough, sir.
Oh yeah, more than enough, right?
Yeah. So fully course is not enough, sir. Only just basics is enough, sir. It's just framework for the Django framework.
Correct. So basics is enough. Once we have one more topic called AngularJS. Once it's done, we cover entire Python web development full stack.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is actually full stack. Under full stack, these technology you have to learn. Starting with Python basics, advanced, then HTML, CSS, jQuery, and then Bootstrap, and then AngularJS. AngularJS also you need to learn a little bit, and then we'll get into framework.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll catch up tomorrow. Actually, I am going to be out of station this weekend. If I'm able to return by early hours of Monday, I can take. Otherwise, we'll meet on a Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Just inform, sir. I don't. No problem,
Sure.
sir.
I will inform on
Okay, thank
Sunday. EOD.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay.